for the CV, I want to talk about it because I am one of the few people that I know of that contradict the advice of CV. Because most of the conferences I've been to and other recruiters, they will tend to say keep the CV short, 1 page, maximum two, maybe depending on your experience, of course. Now, I happen to also have LinkedIn recommendation in my CV at the end. If for someone bothers to scroll down, they'll see all the recommendations, and I don't have to present it. They'll see like from different experiences, but I picked them specifically for the type of job then. So, what are your thoughts of the length of the CV and also the content? Because people will also say, explain what you did or what problem you solved versus what you do or something like that, if that
Sure.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I am in the camp of I don't care how long your CV is, as long as what's in there is good. So, and it's interesting and it's relevant. So, um, the there's different. This is different for different countries as well. The only country that I'm aware of that across the board seems to be very strict about the length of your CV is the United States, and they tend to be very much keep your resume to 1 or 2 pages maximum. And if they get one longer than that, it's quite common for you to get a response saying, "Can I get a 1 or 2 pager, please?" So, but everywhere else, um, I've I've been a recruitment consultant for nearly 7 years, I think, and I have never met a hiring manager outside of the United States who has ever declined an application from someone because of the length of their CV. So the if your CV, if you want to, the majority of the content should be about your most recent couple of jobs, because they'll probably be the most relevant to what you're going for, unless you're changing industries entirely. But I don't think taking good content that is relevant to your life and your experience and your skills is worth is worth deleting in order to have 2 pages instead of 2.5 pages. That doesn't make sense to me, because ultimately what's going to happen is, how will you feel if you apply for a job and they come back and say, we're declining your application because you didn't demonstrate enough experience with Maya, and you deleted the previous night before making the application, you deleted the 3rd page of your CV that talks about all your experience with Maya, you know? So it's not worth the risk of deleting. Don't write a book, but 3 pages, 4 pages, I think that is totally fine. And you don't need to, when it goes to the end of your experience, like if you're talking about, if you're experienced in the industry, and for example, Amit, if you're putting, your current jobs in, you've been a lighting artist for quite a long time now, so you can put quite a lot of detail about your current job and probably your 2 or 3 most recent jobs, and then your first jobs where you were, working outside of the industry, you can definitely still have those on there because it still shows your journey and shows where you came from, but you don't need to write what your responsibilities were in, the supermarket or the bar or whatever it was that you worked in while you were studying or whatever it may be, because that isn't now relevant to what you're doing now. But if you're a junior, then you will want to include details of that sort of stuff, because that shows your personal skills, and that's what you'll get a job based on quite often when you're a junior.